What is happening? Welcome to my channel. My name is Matt Bradford. This is going to be a very beginner lap steel lesson. I'm going to do a little series of like super beginner stuff. Now, I'm assuming that you know what the sixth string is and what the first string is, but if you don't, for whatever reason, sixth string is the lowest pitch string, and the first string is your highest pitch string. Okay, and just in case you don't know how to hold your bar, I'm holding it between my middle finger and my thumb, my first finger across the top, and then my two fingers here. We're not making a claw. We're going to put them down on the strings. So I can almost let the bar off, and my hand is almost just resting on top of the bar. Okay. Today, I'm in open D tuning. It's obviously the last thing, right? D, A, D, F sharp, A, D. Okay, and I'm in tune. I had to double check that. So open D tuning. We're going to focus on what's called power chords. The first thing that I think a lot of people are like, oh, let's, like, let's not do that. Let's focus on two things. Number one, timing, and number two, muting. So there's two ways to mute. Okay, so let's start with this. Here's, okay, oh, how do we introduce all the information? Here are the chords, the whole chords, the non-sharp, non-flat chords in open D tuning. These are power chords. So they are not major, they are not minor. They're what we call fifth chords or five chords. You can make them either major or minor, depending on what you play around them. So this is a great way to get started playing songs, playing along with people or along with songs that you like. And that is going to be the purpose of this video, is playing along with some stuff. Learning should be fun. Learning should be musical. Those are the things. If you're playing lap steel, you're like, I want to learn lap steel, awesome. Can we please do it fun? Can we please do it in a way that's like not just like probably use a major scale instead of a pentatonic scale for that. Point is, let's have some fun. So I'm going to use power chords. Now, you can see on this chart, what I've done is this. The open strings for the D chord, the open strings, if you're looking at this chart, what you see, those first red dots, is the bottom three strings, nothing on the third string. So we're not playing the third string. And then the top two strings. Okay? 6, 5, 4, 2, and 1. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, I think we can use some deductive reasoning, right? 6, 5, 4, 2, and 1. All right, my intro here is going to be longer than I would like, but this is what it is. The main things for me, I'm not going to do tablature. I'm going to, I have this, but I don't have an overhead camera shot. I'm giving you all the notes I'm playing here. I'm going to talk about all the stuff that we're doing, but I really want you to develop this, and I want you to develop this. These are the two things. The most important thing is going to be listening. It's way more important than any note I can play is listening, because there's only 12 notes. There's only 11 notes, really, in music, in the Western music scales. A lot of caveats. Point is, there's only about 11, 12 notes. And so how we use them and how we play them and how hard and how soft and which they are, like this comes in so much more handy than I think any beginner lesson often brings in. So, yes. So if you look at this scale, okay, I'm going to focus on the low three strings. That's a D chord. First things first, let's just go up these whole scales, right? So the D chord, and then at the second fret, and I'm assuming you know what the second fret means, but second fret, and you want your bar right over the line, right over that second line or second fret on your guitar. That's the third, sorry, second fret. Third fret is F, right? Fifth fret is G. Seventh fret is A. The 9th fret is B, the 10th fret is C, and then the 12th fret, it starts over again, D. You can keep going up. The 14th fret, if you just keep following this same pattern up, right, it's the same, oh, that's the, whatever, I'm screwing it up. The point is, you can see where the notes are. So let's start there. Let's start by just picking some chords. Now, a mistake that I think a lot of people make, and a mistake that I made early on, was focusing on playing in D because I'm tuned to D. And the reality is, even though I'm tuned to a chord, I can play in any key. This is a musical instrument. So let's start with, let's play an E, a G, D. Okay, and then a B at the end. So E, G, D, B. I'm using my thumb, my first finger, and my second finger to pluck the low 3 strings. Now you'll notice that even though I'm plucking those 3 strings, this hand is still resting on my top 3. I'm already muting. I'm using my ring finger to just mute those 3 strings I'm not playing. A big thing with playing lap steel, one of the biggest things, is muting. So this is going to be that exercise. And so I want you to play, just, make sure that when my bar is down on the 2nd fret here to play E, my fingers behind the bar are resting on the top 3 strings. I can play all the strings. I wouldn't, but I've developed more technique at this point to be, but I can use this hand to mute so much and to help me clean up so much. And so the biggest thing today is going to be muting, and then obviously playing the chords properly. But we're not trying to be like we want to get it controlled. Okay, right? Yeah, well, don't make it major and minor. Okay, so E, G, D, B. But one last thing, I want you to use a metronome. I'm gonna start my metronome at 60 beats a minute, and I prefer a drum machine to a metronome. Metronome's fine, right? I can use a metronome, and that's fine, right? 4 beats for each. Right? But it's more fun for me to use a that's way too loud. To use a drum machine, even if it's a simple weird. And what's funny is I screwed up the exercise, so I got to do it again. So here we are. This is with the drum machine, okay? E, G, D, B. 4 beats, right? Each of these drum hits is a beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I want to keep it as clean as possible. I want to keep it as tight as possible. All that stuff. Let's add a little rhythm, though. Okay, before I do that, before I add the rhythm. We can keep speeding it up. I'm going to speed it up really fast. I would take the metronome, speed it up slowly. Speed it up 1 notch, 2 notches at a time, and get it down. Get this rhythm down. This is faster, obviously. And make sure that you're hitting on the beat. This is the biggest deal. This is the biggest thing. This is the thing I think that when I play with people who are professionals, it's like they have played a lot of rhythm guitar, because 99% of songs are rhythm guitar or rhythm bass or rhythm drums, whatever it is. When you listen to a drummer playing goom ga doom ga, Like, that's the bread and butter of playing drums, not all the fancy soloing stuff. You see, I was just doing it in the air. It's good. Same thing is true of lap steel. Let's add a little rhythm to it. So let's go back to 60, and now what we're gonna do is what's like probably one of the more basic rhythms that is in any song, where it's gonna be we're gonna go in between. It's gonna be. Okay, and I want to mute. And you can see I'm using my hands to mute the strings. And there's two ways to mute. Okay. So you see what I'm saying? And then again, you see how I'm choking the notes out. Because this is the key. This is the key to everything, is the muting. I have two ways to mute. I can mute with my right hand, and there's things called blocking. Palm blocking and pick blocking. So with my palm, I'm just bringing my palm down onto the strings. Right? That's it. And if you notice, I haven't talked a lot about technique. I'm not a technician. If you're looking for like really heavy technique stuff, I would encourage you to look at MikeWitcher.com and to look at LessonsWithTroy.com. They're both phenomenal players, and technique is flawless, and mine is flawed, and I'm weird. But basically, my thumb's out in front, right? My fingers are here. Maybe I'll zoom in. Maybe not. We'll see. We'll see how good my video editing is today. But my fingers are here. My thumb is here. Boom. And then I just bring my palm back to block. Okay? That's called palm blocking. Okay? I could also pick block. My picks, I just set them down on the string. Right? And finally, and you can hear those strings ringing, right? Hear that? So it's gonna be, for me, it's always a combination. But then finally I can bar block. So behind the bar, if I just pick, my fingers are down behind the bar, and I can just pick the bar up. Now, when I start putting them all together, in this case, I'm gonna pick block and palm block. That's how I would do it. Not pick block, bar and palms. Okay, so the bar came up, my palm went down. The rhythm Does that make sense? You see what I'm saying? So let's do it. This is going to be a real simple chord progression. Let's go with it. Yeah, okay. Now look, that's 4 chords, right? E, G, D, B. I hope that even with just those 4 chords in this very simple rhythm, if you can sit there and just get into it, close your eyes and just feel that rhythm and feel that groove, that can become a really meditative and fun experience. And this is something that I think, especially when I look at old soul music and I look at some of those old soul musicians who are just playing on the 2 and the 4. They're just playing, you get that. All they're playing is those, right? That top part. The computer just went to sleep. It's okay. It should still be recording, we hope. So it's the same thing here. We're trying to learn how to just live in this groove and enjoy this groove, because if you can do that, the speed's going to come and the technique's going to come and the fancier stuff is going to come. But the living in the groove, you can start that right now. And that makes for a way better player than somebody who can play fast and can't groove. And my other job, my day job, I get to be around a lot of people who play guitar or play bass or play whatever, and they can't keep time. And that's the most important thing with music. So let me get off my high horse. Let's take that same exercise and let's speed it up. Okay. I just sped it up to 70, but let's go to 80 just because for the sake of time. I would speed it up slowly, but this is me speeding it up. Speed it up some more. This is 95. You can see this is this is the whole lesson today, and then hopefully tomorrow I think I'll introduce another one with more chords and playing along with songs, so taking this same idea and then applying it to playing along with songs so that you can start to practice not just on your own, not just playing with yourself, I'm a child, but playing with some of your favorite bands. So let's take this. You'll notice it's just that clean. Make sure that those mutes are clean, right? Make sure that your timing is tight. That's the whole idea. Whatever you're listening to, if you listen to the great records of all time, the groove is the thing that brings us in way more than the shredding. So I hope this is a helpful beginner lesson. Beginner lesson 2 should hopefully be out in the next couple days, or tomorrow, I guess. Whenever you see this, I don't know. This will be up for a long time. So, pardon me. Thanks for hanging. I hope this was helpful. I do have a Patreon with all the lesson materials. Today's lesson materials are just this chart. So, that. But there's going to be more backing tracks and more stuff all on Patreon. Please join me there. The link is below. My reverb store is below if you want to buy some lap steels, or if you want to buy a neck and convert a telly to a lap steel yourself, and links to some of my Spotify or whatever. All that stuff is below. Thank you for hanging. Welcome to the lap steel journey. I hope it's a fun one for you. Oh, we should do it with this, huh? This is how we should go out. Yeah.